do have now a list of some MLB free agents. I'm curious what you guys think, where they might go. And then I have a couple questions I want to ask you. Let's start off with Kyle Tucker.
I mean, reports are coming out that it's Dodgers, Yankees, Blue Jays. So,
Those three big spenders.
Call it bias if you want. I think it's going to be the Yankees.
They have to do something.
I think we'll get to some of the reasons that I think it might be the Yankees based on some other names. I think Tucker fits everything that the Yankees lack. Contact, good fielding, a genuine baseball player. And I think that after seeing the success of Toronto, the Yankees are going to be smart enough to kind of lean into playing baseball the right way again.
Right.
And I think Tucker is a perfect candidate for that. I don't see him going to the Dodgers. He just doesn't really strike me as Dodgers type. I could see Toronto.
I could see Toronto.
But it's always so tough for Toronto to get free agents. And if it's got a free agent debating between the Yankees and Toronto, I think the Yankees have enough to sell him.
I just think that the Yankees are
and I don't think he's Toronto's number one priority. I do think he'll be his number one priority.
I think that's very fair. My issue with the Yankees, not so much with the fit for Tucker, but they extended the qualifying offer to Trent Grisham, which I found very questionable because
very questionable, but I think he declines it.
See, I think he accepts it.
I think he declines because I think he takes 3 for $50 somewhere else to secure 50 over 22.
That's fair. I do think it was a very
because I think he could easily be played out of the lineup this year, and then you don't get that 50. I think right now he could go get 50, 60 somewhere.
Now, if that market doesn't materialize for him, I would not mind bringing him back on another 1-year deal to be our fourth outfielder. He's comfortable with the team. I know he probably wants to start somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'd open the season starting for the Yankees, and they'd see.
Yes, but I think Kyle Tucker has to be your top priority, and I think that Trent Grisham and the qualifying offer right now is your biggest roadblock, because if he does accept it, you're kind of in a weird spot with what your outfield makeup is.
Yeah. I mean, we'll talk, assuming.
Yeah, assuming. But I think Kyle Tucker is a great fit. I do think the Yankees should get him. I don't think his contract will be quite as big as we were initially thinking, last season especially. I think we're going to be cooling off with the $600, $700, $800 million contracts. I'm not sure we'll see one for a long time.
How old's Tucker?
27. I think next year's age 28 season.
So he'll probably get 6 or 7 years.
I think he could get 10 years. And I think the Yankees are more likely to go more on the years.
Well, the Yankees always operate that way. If the market is 6 or 7, the Yankees give them 8 or 9 for a lower AAV. That's like what they always do.
And that's what they did with Max Fried last year. I don't mind them doing it because they have the money. There's no cap.
And I don't mind it at somebody who's 27, 28.
Right. We're not taking him to 40. We'll take him to 37.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John, where do you think Tucker ends up?
I would say the Phillies if they weren't going to go after Schwarber, but I think the Phillies are probably going to go after Schwarber. But I would say if that wasn't an option, they'd probably make a push for it because the Phillies do need, it would be better to have someone that can actually play the field and isn't just a DH. So
I don't think he's in the top 12 that Corey's going to bring up. I think Harrison Bader stays in Philly.
Yeah, I think that
on my list
because I think the Phillies are more likely going to sign Bader and probably keep Schwarber.
I mean, I like Bader. I think he's also a great player to have on a team that wants to win.
Yeah.
So where do you think Tucker ends up then?
I want to agree with you guys with the Yankees. I would say I don't think the Dodgers. I feel like the Dodgers are getting crowded and stuff, and they'll probably go after other people and stuff. And I just feel like they can't sign everyone. Like they just can't sign I don't think they don't have you just don't have enough room on your team to sign everyone.
No.
And the Blue Jays are probably more concerned about signing Bo Bichette more so than getting Kyle Tucker.
Do we not think the Mets or the Red Sox could be in on Tucker?
I mean, I'm just going off of the reports that I saw that for Kyle Tucker, it was. I just didn't have a reason not to believe. I don't think the Red Sox. I think their outfield is too crowded as it is. I think they already have too many outfielders. MLB GMs predict Kyle Tucker will sign with one of the following teams per Bob Nightingale: Yankees, Blue Jays, Dodgers. That's what I'm going. That's the report that I saw that leads me to believe that
Is
it'll
there
be one
any
of them.
chance he stays in Chicago?
I think he's priced out of Chicago.
Yeah, and I think we talked about this last week too with the weird stuff they're doing with their contracts. Shota
They didn't take
Imanaga and all that.
yeah.
It almost seems like they're trying to cut payroll.
So,
Yeah, I think the Mets are a sleeper, but I don't think so, man. I think the Mets got other areas that they got to focus on besides that.
But they got Steve Cohen money. Their outfield isn't overly crowded.
I think that they're going to be focused. I mean, we're going to talk about him, I'm sure, but I think that there's some infielders and some pitchers that they're targeting over outfielders. I think that it's like all the stars are aligning for it to be Yankees, Dodgers going after Tucker, and I think Tucker just doesn't strike me as go to the Dodgers kind of guy.
When do we think Tucker signs?
Post Thanksgiving, pre-winter meetings.
Yeah.
Okay, even as a Boris guy?
I just think he's the market. Like, I think he's the domino.
He's the,
you know what I mean? Like Soto,
Ohtani.
like Soto, Boris guy, right? Am I tripping?
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, like he was the market. So I think Tucker's the market.
Gone are the days of Boris guys like Harper and Machado waiting till February to sign.
I mean, I hope so.
That was a bad offseason. I don't know if you guys remember that one.
Yeah, I'd say before pre-December 15th, post-Thanksgiving, Tucker is signed.
Next name I want to talk about is Alex Bregman.
Mets.
Red Sox.
I'm saying stay in Red Sox.
See, but this is what I'm talking about with the Mets, where I think
I
think this is where Cohen money comes in, because I think Steve Cohen and the Mets are willing to price out the Red Sox to make sure that they get, because they've been trying to get a third baseman for years. They tried with the Correa shit, and like that all went south. Like Bregman's the guy that they want.
There's another name I can see the Mets going after for third base that I'm going to talk about in a little bit.
Yeah,
but it's a guy who's not natively a third baseman, but teams around the league have been calling around wanting him to be a second or third baseman.
Mm.
But the next one I want to bring up is Cody Bellinger. There's a contingency with him.
I think Dodgers. I think Yankees get Tucker and Bellinger's back to the Dodgers.
If the Yankees get Tucker, I think Bellinger goes to the Mets. I think he's a great fit for them.
I don't see it.
And then if Tucker does not go to the Yankees, and I think Bellinger is priority number one for the Yankees.
I think Yankees get Tucker, and Blue Jays and Dodgers are battling for Bellinger, and I think he picks the Dodgers.
Is there a world where Bellinger and Tucker both sign with the Yankees? Or is that too crowded?
I mean, there's a world. That world, I think, means those are the only things the Yankees did this offseason. So just be like, if that happens, like be ready for Volpe at short, Jazz at second, Ben Rice and McMahon as like be ready for like no other changes. Which I'm not saying would be the end of the world. I'm just saying.
I mean,
I think that they would just run it with that lineup. And
because there's another name that's floated around as a trade option.
I know we've talked about it. I don't think that I think that would be it. I think that'd be it for Cashman.
Next one up will be Framber Valdez, the starter.
I've seen it floated around Toronto.
I think he probably stays in Houston. What do you think, John? Phillies?
I mean, Rangers are free agent. So if you got Valdez, I would say that you're losing Ranger.
Orioles are a very interesting option because if the ownership wants to pay, he is something that they desperately need.
Another team I could see for Valdez, the Giants. I think the Giants are going to have a very aggressive offseason for pitching, especially.
Next name up will be Edwin Diaz, and I want to say Dodgers.
I think he stays with the Mets.
Right now, the reports are that the Dodgers will pay anything for a top-end reliever.
Yeah, I think he stays with the Mets. I think so will Steve Cohen.
Do you think it takes less money to stay with the Mets at
No.
the end of the day?
No. I think he will go wherever that paycheck is between those two teams.
What do you think, John?
Honestly, I mean, if the Mets,
I'd be
are
shocked
really
if he ended up anywhere else besides the Mets or Dodgers.
I mean, I feel like that's the only two places that have the money to, like, the teams that need a top end closer, then have the money to pay a top end closer. Would be
You don't
those
think
two
that the
teams.
Phillies will be in on him to really build a bullpen that way?
They have to worry more about getting like Schwarber,
And then
like,
you have to
they worry
convince
about
either
other
him
stuff.
or Duran to like change their role. I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think
like
the
that's
Phillies,
just yeah.
I think
As
they
long as
gotta
they
build
have
out a bullpen.
Duran, and they have other people that they were about saying like Ranger, Schwarber, Bader, JT, even people sleeping on that because I still think he's a very important part of the Phillies, roster, and I think people sleep on that and they're so focused on the other ones. But if the Phillies didn't have Duran, absolutely they're going in Diaz, absolutely, because they need one. But I feel like it's going to be Dodgers Mets.
How about Bo Bichette?
Toronto.
They're gonna.
If I think Toronto as well, but if he's not a Blue Jay, he's the one who I think the Mets might try to sign to play third base if they lose out on Bregman.
I don't really like that either, to be honest.
Teams are calling around seeing about him as a second or third baseman, not a shortstop.
I think second's way more likely. I think he might move to second in Toronto.
I think he should move to second in Toronto. I think he's a not phenomenal, but
I just think Toronto is going to try and keep this core together the best they can. And I think Bichette's already there. So it's way easier to overpay him to get him to stay than to try and convince somebody like Kyle Tucker.
And they will overpay. I mean, the thing is they have to overpay.
They
have money.
And again, it's a salary capless sport. So overpaying is just paying more than the market value, but I think it makes sense for I don't think it's an overpay for Toronto to overpay the market price because of how valuable he is to their team and the fact that it was proven this year that it works. Like you were one half inning away from winning a World Series against the Dodgers. So you get your Savage better and you just build up that rotation a little bit better and maybe get another outfielder. Like they could easily be back next year.
Does the Kyle Tucker sweepstakes affect their ability to get Bichette? If they sign Tucker, does that affect Bichette?
I think Bichette's priority one. I think he's the first free agent signed because I wouldn't be shocked if it was done before Thanksgiving. I don't think he wants to leave. Yeah, I don't think he wants to leave.
Anybody can sign any day now.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to leave. Like, I think he wants to stay, and I think that they're going to pay him to stay. I think they're going to let him see what the market is. He's going to see what the market is, and then his agent's going to go, this is the number, and they're going to go, great, we're going to bump it this much and give you extra years and make you a Blue Jay for life. The same way they did Vladdy.
It's just the fact because the Blue Jays, I mean, it's in the past. They're always in the sweepstakes for every top free agent, every
but they can never convince them to come.
But they can't get. They have the money, and I think they have the money to spend. They want to spend the money. Not only do they have it, they want to spend it. And you have this guy here. He's already in Toronto. He's already there. It's like I would be absolutely surprised if he goes anywhere else but Toronto. Like I feel like it's a done deal. It's just how much. It's just the question is how much money is he going to get?
Next name up is Pete Alonso.
Oh, I mean, this is an interesting one.
The relationship between him and Steve Cohen, at least on the outside, seems like it's soured. I think that he's the most important player on that Mets roster. He is the heart and soul of that team.
I mean, I think they get Bregman, and I think getting Bregman, you can move Vientos to first and lose Alonso.
But I think
I'm just struggling with where I see him going instead.
Boston.
I could see Boston. I think they like their youth though, and I think
They don't have an option at first base. They do not like Tristan Cassis. They don't really have like Romy Gonzalez. I don't think they really.
I mean, I could see Alonso to Boston.
Nathaniel Lowe there.
I think it's possible we see Seattle move off of Naylor and they bring in Alonso.
I mean, the Cubs have also been linked to Alonso. I just don't know if that's the direction they're going to choose to go.
I could see it, especially if they move off of Tucker.
Be a cheaper option.
Next name up will be JT Realmuto.
I think he probably stays in Philly, but a sneaky team to watch is the Giants, man. I could easily see that GM overpaying for a catcher who's probably past his prime. I love JT. I'd love to see him come to the Yankees, but I just don't think that's a need for us.
I think he is a very, very important signing. Like the Phillies need to sign him because even though he may not be there defensively as he used to, and he's going down there, he's still very good at calling games, and he still has a bat.
What about the Padres?
Decent bat. So,
I think it's possible. I would say Phillies and then Giants are still ahead on my list, but I mean,
think the Phillies are the most likely.
Yeah, I think Giants are like I think it's like 1A, 1C,
or then, 1 and 2.
But I think it's like the gap between 2 and 3 is very, like I'd be surprised if he went anywhere besides Philly or San Francisco.
All right, next name up will be Luis Arias.
I mean, he just feels like he's gonna end up on some crap team, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Colorado, Oakland,
maybe the Reds,
White Sox,
Pirates.
No, the Pirates don't pay anybody.
Maybe they might.
No. They don't have a track record of that at all.
I'm gonna say White Sox.
I think they'll go better than the White Sox. Maybe like Arizona.
I was thinking Arizona, possibly.
Does Arizona need a second baseman all of a sudden?
Possibly. They might. Tom Marte is available for trade, and they're very motivated to move him, apparently. And that kind of brings me to my next one, Gleyber Torres. I think if they do trade Marte, I think he is a great fit for Arizona to play second base.
I think he stays in Detroit.
What type of deal do we think Torres could be looking at?
3 for $60.
Yeah, I think that sounds right. Maybe go 4 years. He's not old.
Yeah, you could do like 4 for $75 if you're trying to knock down the AAV.
How about Robert Suarez, the reliever?
Dodgers.
If Diaz goes to,
I had Diaz staying with the Mets.
Right, so if Diaz stays with the Mets, he's the Dodgers. Do we think that if Diaz ends up with the Dodgers, does Suarez
they still get him? They still get Suarez.
The Dodgers still get Suarez?
Yeah, still get Suarez. I mean, they're just
Tucker and Bellinger.
Yeah, why not? Why not? They're gonna sign. I mean, I said that they might just sign everybody.
No, I think that they get Suarez, but I think like that's.
Yeah,
I think
Suarez
like that's their. I think again. I think that closer is their number one priority, which is why again I think Tucker will only be the Yankees' number one priority.
How about Kyle Schwarber?
I think the Phillies.
No, I think the Phillies too. I think we all do. Let's play the if he's not a Philly, where does he go game.
I have seen reports that the Yankees are interested in him. I saw reports that the Yankees were interested in him, and I have no clue how the hell they make a lineup where Schwarber or Stanton is playing in the field every day.
Are they first base? Do they learn first base?
I don't know. I'm not bought into it.
How about the Rangers for Schwarber?
I saw him linked to the Reds.
I don't think the Reds pay him.
I think he goes to a contender. I mean, he takes over the Jock Peterson type role.
Yeah, I could see that.
The Giants?
The Giants, I think, are spenders. I think similar to when they got Adames, was that last year or 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
Where they were just in on everybody. I think like that's just going to kind of be them again. I think they're just going to be in on everybody. I could see a reunion with Boston. He'd have to DH and they'd probably move on from Yoshida, but like that's obviously a plus from them. Toronto, I think, is sneaky, but I mean, these are just. I think he remains on the Phillies.
I think he needs to be a Philly.
I think these are teams that drive up his price.
Like you're not going to get him for.
I do like the Rangers though as a second option because I still think like they're in on winning.
What type of contract do we think a guy like Schwarber, who can't play the field but hits a lot of home runs, is looking at? He's really hard to predict.
I think a lot of money because a lot of teams are in on him. I think the market is going to raise his value.
I mean, what do we think? 4 years at his age?
Let's see. Kyle Schwarber
4 for 140 gets $35 million a year.
Kyle Schwarber's projected contract is 4 to 5 years with values between 128, 145 million, 30 to 35 mil per season.
I mean, that's literally what I just said. So I know I'm saying is like I think that's perfect. I nailed that.
I think Philly will give him 5 for 150. I think they'll
That's
make
what
sure.
I was thinking.
Make sure he stays.
He's.
I think like they're going to have to overpay the market a little bit.
Right, or at least give him the extra year. So those are all the names I wanted to talk about. I want to know who we think gets the biggest AAV, not the total contract, but the largest single season pay. Because like we talked about, got teams spreading around.
I mean, probably Tucker.
I would say
like 45, 50.
I think just like 40 to 45. But again, that it depends how long of a deal he signs.
Right.
And he might sign a longer deal because he's younger.
Sneaky one, Bregman.
I was going to say
that's who I would have said was Bregman.
Because if he signed with the Mets, just give him a bag,
like 2 for 100,
or 3 for 140.
I think those two probably are it.
What about Diaz though? Like on a shorter deal.
Closers don't get that type of money.
He's not getting like. I
guess he's not as good as he used to.
He's not getting 2 for 80. Like he's no, just no way.
All right, so who gets the? This is an easier one to guess. Who gets the greatest total contract?
Tucker.
We're thinking what, between 4 and 450?
Yeah. Again, I think if the Yankees do kind of what you mentioned with a 10-year deal, like I could easily see in the realm of 440 to 450. But I think even if he gets a shorter deal somewhere else, it'll be 400 plus. I think like that's the starting point is 400 plus.
Do you guys remember the days where deals of like 10 years were unheard of and like going over 200 million was like considered insane?
Yeah, I do.
I wouldn't nonchalantly throwing out.
What was the contract the Yankees gave A-Rod? I remember when that happened.
10 for 275, I think.
I remember that like broke SportsCenter.
And then when the Mariners beat out the Yankees for Cano, 10 for 240.
Yeah, I just remember like those contracts. I looked at them the way that I looked at like the Juan Soto deal. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, and like it's so weird because I feel like we skipped having the 300s be what the 200s were.
I think we're gonna like that. I think the pendulum's coming back. Do you remember the NBA free agency where the salary cap boomed and guys like Timofey Mozgov got like massive deals, and then like afterwards things started like coming back to reality? I think like that's what's happening with baseball. I think like Ohtani and Soto got massive deals, and people are like, man, even that Juan Soto contract, and they didn't even make the playoffs. Nah, I'm not doing 700.
I think that Juan Soto one was extremely overpaid. Like I think he was extremely overpaid.
I say that
lifetime 280.
I mean, I'll say that I agree with you, but at the same time, I was totally on board with the Yankees paying it. So
I think both those statements can be true, though, that they're massively overpaid, but also that's what the market rate is.
Yeah,
it made more sense for the Yankees to pay that for him, but not the Mets, because the Yankees, I feel like, had a better.
I think it was like proven that he was the piece they were away.
Yeah.
Not that they won the World Series, but they got there.
So when it comes to these contracts, though, all these big deals, how often do you sit back and think, yeah, this player is worth every penny and not yeah, we overpaid, but you get
Well, the Dodgers are 2 for 2 on World Series since
right
paying Ohtani,
for
so it's hard to
Otani's
argue that he
right.
wasn't
I'm not
worth
saying
it.
it doesn't happen. I'm just saying like,
The Yamamoto deal almost feels like a steal.
well,
But at
I
the
will
time,
say
we talked about it as like a crazy pay. But now, 2 years later, he's a World Series MVP and a top
right.
3 pitcher in the sport.
Well, look at Aaron Judge. Do you feel that he is worth every cent?
Oh, I mean, absolutely.
Do you
You look at
feel
it now,
that
you feel like he's underpaid almost.
underpaid? What would Aaron Judge at 30, 2 years old get on the open market?
I mean, depending on the team, uh, I don't know if he'd get a lot of years, but man, he could probably go out and sniff 5 for 400
Yeah.
ish.
And then like even Garrett Cole with the deal we gave him, do you feel any type of way negatively about what we gave Cole?
No, I mean, he won a
He won
Cy
a Cy
Young last
Young,
year.
was the best pitcher in baseball for a bit. He's hurt right now, but like he hasn't done anything to make me regret that contract.
No, and I listen. I don't even think Blue Jays fans regret the Vladdy deal.
No, it's just rare. Like I feel the Angel fans obviously regret.
To be honest, I don't even think the Met fans regret the Soto deal.
No, not yet.
We'll
But
see.
a lot. The jury is still out on the Vladdy, the Soto.
Is it? Is it out on Vladdy? I mean,
He's.
listen. Like, obviously, if he just completely falls off for the
But
next
that's what I mean.
decade and like is terrible, but if Vladdy is just 280, 30 homers, but they never get back to the World Series, was it a waste?
No,
Probably not.
no. But that's what I'm saying is, are the chances of it being a waste? No, not at all. I don't think it's very high. But the fact that he hasn't.
I mean,
played
because like by that
since-
logic, could the judge will the Judge contract be a waste? If like
No, I don't think we'll ever at this point because we're a couple years
I
in.
think all of these contracts in the last 3 years of the deal are going to look like overpays. But I think like that's the business you play.
Right. It's not like you're overpaying those back. Like I think Anthony Rendon, that's a miss. I think even the Trout extension, Angel fans are kind of just whatever about now, where it wasn't really worth it because he hasn't.
How many jerseys does Trout sell? I guess that'd be. I mean, that's just like
Yeah.
the business mind in me, where it's like, well, is it an overpay if he
Like, you have
continues to
Machado
make the
with the
money back in
Padres.
merch? Yeah,
Harper with the Phillies, which is an underpay.
Yeah.
Which was an underpay when he signed it.
Yeah, well, certain teams didn't even feel the need to take a meeting with him.
Nope. Especially teams that he rooted for since childhood and has been on record wanting to be on.
Hey, could still happen.
So out of all the players that we named, the last thing I want to ask you guys is, what is the craziest player to team, match that you think we can find? Like, is there a team that kind of comes out of nowhere that spends big this offseason?
I mean, the craziest one is Tucker back to the Astros, right?
That would be
just come. What a fleece on the deal, right? 1 year rental for the package they got back.
that would be. But then in that case, I feel like it would have been even funnier if they did trade him to the Yankees, because that would have been another, middle finger to them.
Yeah, I mean, like that's. I think like that's got to be the craziest one. I mean,
we're not talking Tucker to the Pirates or Marlins.
All right, hear this one. Bo Bichette to the Dodgers, Betts back out to the outfield. I mean, that'd be crazy.
That would be crazy, but also, like, would you put it past the Dodgers to do that? Not at all.
I mean, we didn't say unrealistic. Like
No,
crazy, crazy and unrealistic is like Kyle Tucker to the Athletics. Like,
right,
let's just like not even waste our times.
You had it right. I'm talking crazy realistic.
Oh, I mean, Bichette leaving the Blue Jays to
Just
go
for the Dodgers.
I mean, this is like KD to the Warriors-esque.
Yes, I think that might be the biggest one. Diaz to the Dodgers, I think, could rival it.
I got another one that John's gonna hate. Pete Alonso to the Phillies. Schwarber leaves. Bryce Harper's your DH.
I can see that.
I
honestly,
mean,
like, because
but it'd
I
be
can
crazy.
see that, because that would be some. I can see that.
Alex Bregman back to the Astros.
I mean, again, like another one that would be weird. I don't think so. They're pretty set
What
at
about
third base.
Bregman and Alonso to the Phillies?
So then, what do you guys do with your starting third baseman, the superstar?
Just trade him away. trade him away.
I mean, Bregman to the Yankees would be pretty weird.
It would be very weird, especially because we could have got him for relatively cheap last year. But as great of a season as he had, I still put a lot of, stake into park factors. And I just don't think over a full 81 game season in Yankee Stadium,
I don't think he'd be as good. I was just
I don't think he would be near as good.
just talking about some
Yeah.
wild ones.
I mean, Gleyber Torres back to the Yankees.
I mean, that'd be like funny, but I don't think it'd be like
JT
wild.
Realmuto to the Mets. The Mets give up on Francisco Alvarez.
Yeah.
That would be Realmuto back to the Marlins. Finish where it all started.
Realmuto-
They give up on Auguste Ramirez.
Or even Kyle Schwarber to the Orioles, be their DH.
No, thank you.
You don't want to see that?
I just don't want any reason for you guys to falsely believe in a team that has no pitching.
Well, that's because they're going to sign Framber Valdez.
See, that's a fit that I can see happening if the ownership wants to pay.
Yeah.
But,
I think another crazy one would be like a really successful and a crazy possible like a really successful Giants all-in offseason where they land Tucker and Bregman, or like Tucker, Valdez, Bregman, where they get 3 of the big fish. Because I really do think that they're going to be so heavily in this offseason. You have Devers there already. You have Adames there already. You have Webb there already. I just think like they could convince a couple guys, hey, you guys come here and we're starting something big.
the only reason I'm going to give any pushback to that, because I do think it's very possible, the manager that they chose to hire coming from college, I think they hired him to manage a lot of youthful personalities in that locker room. And I feel that they're going, Bryce Eldridge and guys like that, where they're going to try to go high-end youth movement, and they want somebody who's good at managing younger guys, not guys that are paid with superstar mindsets.
I think that's fair. Again, in the world of crazy here.
Yeah.
I mean, in the world of crazy, Edwin Diaz, Bo Bichette, and Kyle Tucker to the Dodgers.
Throw Ranger Suarez in there too. Put him in the bullpen.
I think Ranger Suarez might be a Giant.
I was going to say Giant. What about Orioles?
Could Ranger Suarez be a Yankee? The Yankees are going to be looking for reliever help.
I mean, he can also.
I don't think he wants to be a reliever.
But he can be a starter.
No, I don't think.
Did I say Ranger Suarez? I meant Robert Suarez.
Robert Suarez.
Yeah, I could see that. Definitely more than Ranger.
I meant Robert.
Crazy move. Yankees trade for Ketel Marte.
I've been saying Ketel Marte.
I actually do think that's.
I think we would be the favorites for that.
I think it's extremely possible.
Like
I just think like it's not including Jazz the way you think. I think Marte or Jazz moves to third, and McMahon's just a backup. I don't think they're moving away from Jazz.
I think what McMahon's being paid, and I think McMahon is fine as a platoonable player. And I think Jazz also getting some extra off days at second base might help with his streakiness.
Yeah, I mean, and Lord knows Stanton's got how long before he gets hurt, and then Jazz is just gonna be a DH.
Right, and get Judge a little extra off time too, move things around. But I think Marte for like a Luis Heel centered package, the Yankees and Diamondbacks for what they both need are very good fits.
Keep an eye out for that one, John.
We'll talk more about a lot of this stuff, next time we're back. But this has been the
Kyle Tucker
to the Yankees. Maybe we'll have some free agency news. Free agency has started. It takes a little bit for it to get going, but before December, we usually have a couple big fish gone.